Okay, you all, so I'm going to convince you why you should become a nurse. Now, granted, in my last video, I was trying to convince you why you shouldn't become a nurse, child. She's toxic, she's going back and forth. But there's always two sides of a coin. So if you do not know, I am your fave nurse B. I've been a nurse for 9 years. I started off as a CNA, a certified nursing assistant. Then I became an LPN, licensed practical nurse, did that for 8 years, became an RN, been an RN for 2 years, and then for the past year I've been working in a hospital. Prior to that I was working in long-term care / nursing home. So I've been in a nursing game for a while. So let's talk about it. First things first, job security. You've always heard that nurses are in high demand. There's a nursing shortage. Like, it's definitely a nurses market. I don't know a nurse who is looking for a job that cannot find a job. I've never heard of it. Have you ever heard of a nurse looking for a job that can't find a job? And they might be looking for a specific job or a specific department, specific specialty, but just looking for a job in general. Nurses always will have a job as long as you have a license, which some people be working without licenses. I mean, but anywho, as long as you have a license and you are capable of actually working, like you can actually work, you will have a job as a nurse. So according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the country will need an additional 200,000 nurses each year from now until 2031. 200,000 nurses each single year. That could be you. It could definitely be you. So job security is at the top reason why this is a career that you should get into. You will always have a job, especially with the economy that we have right now. Housing is expensive. It's very expensive. It's expensive to rent. Also, on top of that, everything is becoming more expensive. And I'm just going to say this to begin with. Being a nurse, becoming a nurse, I'm so grateful to my 20-something-year-old self that decided to go and become an LPN, because becoming a nurse has been one of the best decisions I have made in my life. It has been able to help me to sustain myself, to have job security, to not feel insecure at all about being able to make money. And that does something for your mind when you know that if at any given point, as long as you have ability to work, you can create money for yourself, for your family. You can sustain your household. And yes, as a nurse, you could sustain a household as a nurse. Now, you might be working your butt off, or you might be doing something you don't really want to do, like working in a job setting you don't want to work in, but you can make money as a nurse, which I'll talk more about that. But job security is there. You will always, I don't care what nobody says, you will always have a job as a nurse. Period. Point blank, period. So it's been a true blessing to be a nurse, and it's something I don't take for granted. And like I said, it was one of the best decisions I made in my 20s. So if you're thinking about doing it and you feel called to do it, and you feel like, given the pros and the cons, it's something that's for you, you definitely should do it. You will not regret this decision, simply based on the fact that you will always be able to make a decent living for yourself and for your family, and you will always have that sense of security in this career. You just will. There's nobody replacing us. There's nobody replacing us. It's just not. I mean, they might try to do it, but I don't know how. There's no one replacing us for the foreseeable future, at least while we still here. Like, for our generation, for the people that are here on earth right now, like, nobody's gonna replace us. I don't care what nobody say. But next, there is a lot of entry-level jobs in nursing. Meaning you can become a CNA, a certified nursing assistant, a CMT, which is somebody, a med tech, somebody who administers medications. You can become a phlebotomist, the individuals who take blood. Also, you can become a medical assistant. I'll kind of put that on the side. Like, that is somewhat of an entry level to nursing. But as far as CMTs, PCTs, CNAs, and phlebotomists, typically that training is less than a year, and a lot of times it's less than 6 months. So that's why I say there's a lot of entry-level jobs to nursing that don't take a lot of time to get into, and they also don't take a lot of money to get into. More than likely, CNAs, PCTs, you do not have to pay to become a CNA or a PCT. Get a job, they're going to train you at the job, they're going to pay you while you're in school. And then after that, you have a job. There's not too many fields where you can create a trade. You can get a trade. You can go to school. Your company will pay for you to go to school, train you, pay you while you're being trained, and then there's a job right there waiting for you. There's not, that I've seen, there's not a lot of career pathways that have that in place. And nursing definitely has a pipeline that you can go through, which I'll talk more about, that will keep you going. You can always grow in this field. Now, with there being a lot of entry-level jobs to nursing, the benefits to that is that, say you're a CNA, you're a PCT, you can work, create money for yourself, work in the field while you're in school to become a nurse. That's exactly what I did. I went to school when I became an LPN. I went to school Monday through Friday. I worked one shift throughout the week, one either night shift or evening shift throughout the week. And then I worked 2 double shifts throughout the weekend, which I have videos talking about how I was able to do that. And it's possible. You can work, make money while you're in school. And the reason why it's easier for you to do that is because there's so much flexibility with the hours in nursing, which I'll talk more about. Also, you can get a feel for the career while you're in school, or before you even become a nurse. You can get a feel for if this career is really for you. Again, I don't know too many careers where you can at least get an entry-level job that's going to pay you and that's going to actually give you hours, where you're not going to have to do tons of schooling and spend tons of money, but you can still get a feel for what the job is like. That's what you can do as a CNA and PCT. You could be, especially PCT, like you could become a PCT, you could work on a labor delivery unit, you can work ICU, you can work in an ER, you can work med surg, you can work, what else can you do as a PCT? Like what type of unit? You could do pediatrics. There's a lot you can do to see, do I want to do this? What do I like about this? Like what, you can talk to nurses, you can talk to professionals in the field to get a better feel of, do you want to do this? What are the pros and cons to it? You can get your foot in the door in this career as, like I said, a PCT, CNA, CMC, or a phlebotomist. Phlebotomist, I know a phlebotomist in my job, she's in nursing school. So there's so many careers you can get into prior to getting into nursing that gives you an idea of whether or not this is for you. Also, you just gain more experience doing these entry-level jobs, and you can use that to leverage getting a little bit higher pay as a new grad nurse, because you can be like, okay, I've been a PCT for the past 5 years on a NICU, right? Or I've been a PCT for the past 3 years in the ER. That looks good, you going into a career. And also you can, working on these units, sometimes like ICU, something like that, it might be a little harder for you to get into as a new grad nurse. But if you're already on a NICU, or you in an ICU or ER as a tech, if you're in good standing with that job and you create connections and you do your job well, you come to work, you do your thing, when you become an RN, they more than likely will give you that job because they know who you are, they know your work ethic, and you're already there. You already have a connection. Versus a new grad, it might be harder for them to get on that unit, but you already got a foot in the door. So as I stated, I don't know too many jobs where you have so many entry level careers you can get into prior to getting into the profession. There's so many entry level jobs that can give you the experience that you need, as well as the overall feel for the job, and you can still work while you're in school, which is most of the reason what holds people back from going to school, is because they're like, I have to work, I have to make a living, I don't know how I can have my work schedule and then still go to school. There's so much flexibility in the hours with healthcare that you can do it. That's why I highly recommend going into nursing and finding one of those careers you can get into first before you become a nurse. A lot of these jobs will help you with school. Now for me, I was working at a long-term care facility as a CNA while I was in school for nursing for my LPN. And they did help me with school. Each semester, once I got my grades in, I would just submit my grades. And I believe they gave me like $2,500 a year up to $10,000, I believe. I forgot how they did it. But they did like tuition reimbursement. They will pay you back based on, you know, the time that you were working. And of course it's taxed at my job, or at least my old job, it was taxed. And it wasn't a whole ton of bit of money after the taxes, but it's some money that you can have while you're in school that's helping you pay for school or pay for your school expenses. Again, it ain't a lot of jobs that's gonna pay you to go to school, that's gonna help you to go to school. And then on top of it, don't let yourself get into a VA job. You get into a VA job, it's like, I don't know the whole ins and outs, but from what I've heard, the VA will pay for everything and you won't have to work. You only have to come into work on like your days, like when there's what do you call it, like when you have like time off from school. That's the only time you would have to come into work. I'm trying to debate, do I like my hair back or down? Which I think, do I like it down or up better? Hold on real quick. So yeah, from what I've heard from other people, and I don't know if this has changed, it's like the VA will help you pay for school to the point they'll pay for the whole thing. Of course, there's certain things you got to do for these jobs. You don't get quid pro quo. You got to do something to get something. So more than likely, you have to commit to a certain amount of years working there or a certain amount of time working for them. But if you're in school, then you're pretty much probably still going to be working at that job while you're in school. And if it come down to it, pay them people back their money and go on about your business and go somewhere else. I know some people might not want to do that, but it's still an option to have help for school, like I said, for small expenses while you're in school. Next, sign-on bonuses. Now, I talked about this in the other video as a con, because there's catches to these sign-on bonus, and you sometimes it can, if you have a different mindset, it can make you feel like you're stuck in this job if you take a sign-on bonus. But coming out of nursing school, a lot of people they ain't got the money. They broke, child. They broke. They haven't been able to work a whole bunch of hours and they want some money. So being able to come out of nursing school and land a job that's giving you $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. Some places here in St. Louis is offering $40,000 sign-on bonuses. Coming out of school and having that nice little chunk of money there for you to put on a down payment on a car, or to just put up and sit up somewhere for you, or pay off some debt, whatever, that looks and feels very good to know that when you get out of school, you have a nice chunk of money waiting for you as an incentive to sign a contract at a hospital or at a facility. Again, I don't know too many careers that offer sign-on bonuses. And also, like, just as a little side note, as a nurse, when you got out of school, you know you're gonna get a job. Just that security, that mindset of knowing when I get out of school, I'm going to get a job. I ain't gotta try to look for one. I ain't gotta do networking. Like, I got a job. They looking to you. They're coming to your school to get you to come work for them. Like, they're having job fairs at these nursing schools because they know that y'all ready to get a job, and they're like, look, we got plenty of jobs waiting for you. Like, there's plenty of opportunities to get a job as a nurse. And just to have that security coming out of school, knowing that you have it, like, that's a totally different flex. As I stated, what other careers do you know you're gonna get a job, where you know you're gonna be able to work within? I was working as an LPN. I was working as a graduate nurse before I even took NCLEX. Do you know, like, before you even get the certification, you have a job. Before you literally have the licensure to work, you can work as a nurse. That's how much they need us. That's how much there is a need for, like I said, this is a nurse's market, okay? The jobs are not in control. We are in control, which we have to take that, we got to take that, use that to our advantage. We can't be acting like we got a job. We got to act like this is a career. Let me interject and say that it is pretty much commonplace for you to work as a nurse without even having a license, right? Also, some hospitals offer nurse extern positions where you can work as a nursing student while you're in the hospitals, and they will also offer like money for school while you're working as a nurse extern to help pay for your school while you're in nursing school. So nursing, they pretty much set you up to be able to further your education. This is a career that understands that people go back to school. It's very forgiving and accommodating for people when they go back to school to work in the healthcare field. And like I said, this is probably the biggest reason why people find it hard to go to work. To work while they're in school is because their jobs, they just don't accommodate them to be able to work and go to school. The schedule is just not there. But in healthcare field, they are going to help you to be able to do it. They're going to move around the schedule for you to be able to do it. And even if they don't move around the schedule, guess what? If you're a CNA, you can work PRN while you're in nursing school, pick up shifts whenever you can. And hey, if you can't pick up a shift, you can't pick up a shift. But if you want to pick up an extra shift, pick up an extra shift. The same if you want to work agency, you have options. You have the options. Whereas if you were working a regular 9 to 5 somewhere else, you got to just go with whatever schedule they give you. You have to just go with whatever is there. You can't, if you call out, you might be jeopardizing your job. Whereas with agency, you only pick up whenever you can pick up. With PRN, you only pick up whenever you can pick up. They help you while you're in school. It's a huge, huge bonus to this field. Next, one of the biggest benefits of being a nurse is that there's tons of different job settings that you can work in. So traditionally we hear about nurses working in the hospitals, nursing homes, long-term care facilities. Nurses can also do home health nursing, private duty nursing. You can work at a school. You can work at summer camps. You can work on a cruise ship, in jails, community health nurses, clinics, plastic surgery places. Like there's so many avenues and so many different job settings as a nurse. You don't have to be just in the hospital. There's so many different places and settings you can work in as a nurse, which makes it so exciting to know that you're in a career where you don't feel super pigeonholed to just one thing. It's plenty of nurses who will never step foot in a hospital. They're like, I don't want to do the hospital. That's not for me. There's a whole plethora of nurses that are like, nursing home, yeah, that's not for me. Home health, that ain't for me. I'm not a home health type of nurse. I don't want to do it. But some nurses, they love that. That's exactly what they want to do, is work in home health. There's a lot of different job settings that could really fit your personality and fit the type of flow that you like. If you enjoy working with the community, working with a diverse group of people, and feeling like you're actually helping your community and being of service to your community health nursing, working in clinics. One of my closest friends, she works at a clinic, a woman's clinic. She says she loves it. At first she was doing labor and delivery, or what is it, mom and child or something unit. The other, not labor and delivery, the other one that's like mother-child unit. I don't freaking know. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But she was working on one of those units. And it was stressful being in the hospital. It's very stressful. But she found like her love for nursing again, working at a clinic. And she's able to work with a lot of immigrant women. And so it just makes her feel so much better as a nurse being in that setting. It's beautiful that in our career, if we don't like one part of it, we don't have to stay there. We can switch, we can pivot. And it just, to me, that's what makes nursing so clutch, is that you don't have to feel pigeonholed to one place that you have to work. There's so much diversity. On top of that, you could work from home as a nurse. If you don't want to deal with people, you don't want to be around folk, you could work from home. You work for an insurance company, you could work from home. Get your little home office, write it off on your taxes. You can work from home if you don't want to do that. Piggybacking off of that, there are over 100 nursing specialties. Okay, so again, we typically think of hospital nurses, ICU, ER, med surg. There's also, you could work on a burn unit. You could be a wound nurse. You could be a nurse educator. You can work in the military. You could be in the military and they can help you go to school for nursing, and you could be in the military. You can work as a nurse administrator or an executive. You can be a corporate nurse, okay, a corporate daddy, office siren, if you will. You can do, what else? You can become a dialysis nurse, lactation nurse. Like, I honestly probably would do lactation nurse, especially as a woman of color, like promoting breastfeeding your children. Like, for sure, I would do lactation nurse, and why not? It's like a happy nurse. Pediatrics, hospice nursing, surgical nursing, nursing homes, psych nursing, rehab facilities that are like actual physical rehab and occupational rehab, as well as working with people who have substance abuse, which I think nurses that work with patients who have substance abuse, I've heard they really enjoy it. It's something cathartic about it. More than likely, they have somebody in their family who has struggled with substance abuse. So for them, it's very cathartic. If that's something that you're interested in, I would say go for it. But like I said, you could work, there's so many specialties. Like there's so many specialties in nursing. And again, if you get tired of one thing, you don't want to do, you're just like, I'm overworking in the hospital, I'm over med surge, switch it up. You can switch it up, okay? Like I said, there's over 100 specialties, okay? Do you get what that means? So if you're anybody who gets a little antsy after a year or two working somewhere, 6 months working somewhere, switch it up. And you can learn so many different skill sets as a nurse, which makes you more marketable, makes you more confident as a nurse, more competent as a nurse. And then you could take that skills of having all these different specialties under your belt, you could take that and do something totally different with it, okay? I'll just piggyback off of that and talk about the fact that being a nurse opens you up to other careers. So if you all know Miele, the hair care line, that woman was once a freaking nurse, okay? Nurse entrepreneurship is big, especially like a few years ago. I feel like it was really big when people wanted to create home health facilities and nursing agencies and travel nurse agencies. And what else did nurses create? Even like doing like IV therapy nursing. There's nurse entrepreneurship is a big thing, and you can take your skill sets as a nurse and translate that to becoming a nurse entrepreneur. Think about it. Nurses typically have to learn how to multitask, be flexible, be critical thinkers. Nurses also have to be able to work under pressure, okay? So those type of skills translate well into nurse entrepreneurship. So if you know that, okay, at some point I want to work by myself, I want to be my own boss, nursing might be a good start, because you can also, while you're working on your business, you can still have a job that's gonna pay you a good amount of money. So one of the things with entrepreneurs in general is they still need to create income while they're working on creating their business and waiting for their business to become profitable. So that can be sometimes the challenge with being an entrepreneur, is that, okay, I still need to make money before my business make money. Even when my business starts to make money, I need to kind of reinvest into my business, but I still need to make money. Being a nurse, and with the hours that nurses can work, you can still work as a nurse, get your money, get your coinage, pay your bills, and still maybe have some extra money to push into your business, right? And be good. I don't know, like I said, I don't know too many careers where you can still make money and have a whole other job on the side and make good money doing this during this time. So if you are interested in entrepreneurship, nursing is a good field to get into, so that you can have something to generate money for you, and that has flexible hours for you to be able to work whenever you want and whenever you can, while you're building your business. Also, like I said, some of the skills that we learn as nurses translate well into entrepreneurship. Tell me what y'all think of it. I feel like they do. I feel like some of the skill sets that we have, like, they really do translate well into being an entrepreneur. So I've been talking about job flexibility as far as the times that you can work. Nursing is 24 hours. People get sick all the time. People need health care all the time. So with that being the case, guess what? You can make money at any time of the day. Nurses are out here working 12-hour shifts, 16-hour shifts. I used to work 16-hour shifts. How did I do it? Lord, you can't catch me doing it now. I do 12, but 16? Yes, you can work 16-hour shifts as a nurse. You can work 2 days a week and be done. 3 days a week and be done. And have a nice little pile of money sitting there waiting on you as a nurse. Also, when you're in school, you could work days, evenings, nights if you want to. You could work a little split shift where you only do 4 hours here and there. They need you, so they'll take whatever they can get. These jobs will take whatever they can get, trust me. And having that flexibility in your schedule opens up your world so much. Again, one of the reasons that stop people from being able to build a business, to go back to school, to have a family, enjoy their family, to travel, to do all these things they want to do, is because the hours at the job stops them. If you're going to a job Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day, that only leaves so much time for you to be able to live your life. But with nursing, there's so much time. There's so many different schedules and shifts that you can work, that you can make good money. You can make as much money as you want, honestly. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can make money, and you know the hours are there because they need you. There's a shortage, and you can work the hours you want. For example, say that you are a person who, and you can create a lifestyle that you want. So say, for example, you are a person who wants to travel three months out the year. You could work your butt off for like 6 months and then take time off for 3 months. Now you might say, oh, well, my job's not gonna let me do that. You could be PRN, you could be agency, you could be a travel nurse. You could do all these different things so that you're not tied down to, I have to work this schedule. You could choose to be like, no, I'm gonna be PRN or I'm gonna be agency, and I'm only gonna work these hours, and I'm only gonna work this time out of the year. Maybe you wanna take the whole summer off, or maybe you say, I wanna take the whole winter off. I don't wanna work in the winter. You can do that. You can make a pile of money for a certain amount of time and work as many hours as you want, because like I said, it's available, and then free up 3 months of your life, right? 3 months of your year, you don't have to work. However you want to do it, but you can create a lifestyle with nursing based on the hours that we can work and the flexibility, as well as the fact is that they always need you in there. They always need you. So there's always chances to pick up overtime or to pick up more hours and to pick up whatever shift you want to pick up. On top of that, you do not have to work at just one job. You can have multiple streams of income as a nurse, which also adds to your job security, right? Your money is not just coming from one place, one source. You could have a part-time job somewhere. Maybe this is something that you really enjoy doing. It's in a specialty that you really like. You're getting the experience that you want. Maybe that job doesn't pay a whole bunch of money, but it's in a specialty you want. It's only part-time hours, and it's just a part-time job, right? It's a part-time job, and it's a specialty that you want to do. So for example, I really want to do ICU at some point, maybe kind of, sort of, I don't know yet. But I don't know if it's going to be like a pay cut for me to do it. So I might do part-time somewhere to get some ICU experience. But if I really want to make the coinage, or if I don't want to pick up a shift there as an ICU nurse because it might be too stressful, or I just want to shake things up, I could go pick up a PRN shift on a med-surg unit and be like, okay, I'm going to make more money because it's PRN, and I'm not tied down to this job. It's only PRN. I only pick up when I want to pick up. And then I could have, if I did home health, I could have a little home health gig on the side where I just do admissions. I just do a little admission real quick for them, and I'm done. I just get paid for that admission that I did. And they might need me a few times out the month, and that's another way to get a few extra money. And on top of that, don't let you be a person who can do IVs really well. You can have a little PRN IV nurse little gig. There's so many ways to make money, and there's so many different avenues. You can get money from different sources as a nurse. There's so many, I keep punching somebody, but there's so many sources to making money as a nurse. There's so much diversity as to where your money is coming from. You can always be mentally stimulated as a nurse because there's so many different specialties and job settings. It's just a matter of you saying, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to get experience working in clinics, or I want to just have that experience of working with people, the community. I want to have that, but it might not be paying a whole bunch of money, and I just want to do a little bit here and there, do that part-time. Or I want to make good money, but I don't want to be working med-surg every single week, but they make good money. When I pick up a shift there, it's good money. Do that PRN, or do it agency just to make a quick buck here and there. Oh, I want to go on a trip, but I don't really want to pick up a shift at my job. Or maybe you work at a clinic and the hours are not available there. So you're like, you know what? I got my clinic job, and I also got me a little agency job where if I need to make a few $100, $300, $400, some cases $700 or more dollars just for this one shift, I can pick up an agency shift real quick to go towards my trip, to throw towards my car payment, to go towards my kids' school. Are y'all hearing this? Like, it's endless. It's endless. The possibilities are endless, and you really can create the lifestyle that you want as a nurse, having freedom of your time, chef's kiss. It's a godsend to have that much freedom of your time. And that's one of the best things to think about nursing, is that you have, now I feel like I need to put it down, is that you have freedom of time and you're able to create the schedule that you want that fits your lifestyle the best. My children, me and my husband, for the most part, have not really had to pay for childcare. Now, we have had times where we have paid for childcare just to give us some time, but it's been times where we didn't have to pay for childcare because I'm able to work my schedule around his schedule. Now, he doesn't have a whole bunch of flexibility in his schedule at his job, but since I have flexibility in my schedule, if the kids have to be at home or even over the summer, it's okay. They can be at home with us because I work 2 days a week, and on those days he's off, so he's able to be with the kids. And the days when he's off, when he's working, I'm off. So we can work it. You know what I'm saying? Our schedule, I can work my schedule around his schedule to make it so that we don't have to pay for childcare. It takes so much stress off of you when you know that your schedule can be more open and you don't have to work 5 days a week. I don't know why anybody would work 5 days a week. And I know if you work at the clinic or something like that, you really like it because you don't work holidays, you don't work weekends. I don't mind working weekends, but 5 days a week, I'm not giving anybody 5 days a week. But if you into it, boom, you can work 5 days a week. Like I said, work at a clinic. You don't have to work holidays. You ain't got to try to switch shifts. It's closed. Or you can work at a doctor's office. It's closed. You don't have to work the weekends if that's what you want. Whatever fits you and your lifestyle, you can find a schedule that fits your lifestyle. And with the flexibility of the schedules of nursing, you can always pick up a shift somewhere and make some money. You can make money as a nurse. So I'm gonna get off of that. Also with nursing, as far as pay, there's opportunities to work travel assignments, which are gonna up your pay. Opportunities for you to work PRN, which ups your pay big time. I'm making way more as a PRN nurse than what I would do as a regular floor nurse. Like, it's at least $30 more PRN than it is just me working as a regular staff nurse. I'm sorry I keep touching my hair, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But $30 more compared to a staff, like, that's a lot of money. If I'm working a 12-hour shift, after tax, that's like $300 after tax that I'm making more than somebody else working the same exact shift. And then on top of that, if it's a shift where they really needs people, or it's like a little bonus added on top of it, that's an extra whatever on top of that shift that I'm making. And I'm able to do that because I'm PRN. Strike nursing, I know people had their own opinions of it, but I know a nurse, she did strike nursing pre-COVID. She did it for, I forgot how long. It was for maybe 13 weeks. And she was like, she made bank. She was able to pay off all her debt in those 13 weeks. Imagine working somewhere for 3 months and all your debt is paid off. Can you imagine it? Working for 3 months and your car is completely paid off. Working for 3 months and that student loan is completely paid off. Working for 3 months and you already put $30,000 into your house, or you have $30,000 sitting there to go towards a down payment. For 3 months, all I gotta do is work for 3 months. And I got this money. I can take the rest of the time off. I can take a few weeks off after that. And they pay for your house and they pay for your food. They do. And I know people got their own opinion about strike nursing, but the money is there. However you want to make it, the money is there. It's a nurse here on YouTube. I don't know his name. I just saw like 1 or 2 videos, but I believe he has kids and a wife, and they got an RV, and he works as a travel nurse. They travel all over the U.S. He gets a travel assignment. They live in the RV. They probably just rent a little RV space. Their kids are out living their life like a little nomad nurse. He's able to make some good money for the family. They're out traveling. You know, they're not so attached to material things, and they're closer as a family because they live right on top of each other, right? And it's great for him. And that might be the season that he's in right now. He might do that for like a year or 2, and then they might, you know, settle down somewhere. But just think about like that freedom that you have. Like, if I was child, if I ain't had these kids and this husband, I would have me a little camper, and I would do my travel nursing all over the U.S. just traveling. That'd be my YouTube channel, Nurse Traveling, NurseB Traveling, child. We going everywhere. And even with kids, you can do it over the summer. Do travel nursing over the summer, and you could just work maybe 2 shifts out the week, and then the rest of that time you and your kids are exploring a new city. You and your kids or your spouse are exploring a new city. Like, to me, that's so exciting, just to know that there's so many different ways to make money and to live your life as a nurse. It's so much freedom, you know, to have freedom in a career that you know you're going to be able to make money and have job security in. I mean, what else is there? Okay, next thing is that you can merge your interest, your nursing. You can merge that degree with other interests that you have. So if you have also an interest in technology, IT, you can do nursing informatics, and there's other things you could do as a nurse in the IT field. Also, law. There's when stuff is happening, they need nurses to do policy changes or to do court cases and things like that. I don't know the whole gist of it, but if you are into law, policy changing, that type of level of nursing, you can merge the love of law and the love of nursing together. Again, like I just said, traveling, you can become a travel nurse. You love to travel, boom, match, become a travel nurse. That's using both of those things. Also, teaching. If you know that you really love to teach, you can become a nurse educator. And if you're like, okay, nurse educators I ain't making money like I was making on the floor, you could be a nurse educator, and then more than likely on the weekends you could pick up a PRN shift, pick up an agency shift somewhere, and make you a few extra bucks for that month. It adds up. If you're able to make, like, say you're able to make on average, I don't know, $500 a shift. You could take that money and 2 or 3 times out the month, that's $1,500. Like, that's the difference for some people. That could be your mortgage. That could be your car note and a few other bills. That could be you just put this money up in savings, okay? You know, so there's so much flexibility. And like I said, if you have other interests outside of nursing, you can still pursue those interests and combine them into creating a whole other career. It's out there. You have to look for it, and of course you need to gain experience. And that stuff takes time. I'm not saying as soon as you graduate you will be able to get a job doing this, but if you're in the game for long enough and you know that you have an interest in something else, you can build yourself up to being able to curate that career that you want, that merges different interests and different specialties and different knowledge base together along with your nursing career. People like nurses. People find value in having a nurse on their team, depending on what, you know, depending on the company, they will find value in your nursing degree. You just have to do your research and see different specialties and different career paths that combine other interests that you have. But it's definitely there, especially I see it more so with IT, that you can do that. So next is, if you, as you're getting older, sometimes like getting older in age, or your health may be declining, or you just overall being physically tired, could cause you to have to retire. But with nursing, I've heard nurses like, they're like, I got back issues now, I have an injury, or I just can't, you know, do bedside like I used to. They do MDS nursing, minimum data set, which is, it's a whole other thing, but you got to get a certification for it. But these are essentially desk jobs that you can do, still use your nursing degree, still be there for your patients, but it's just a different thing. It's not bedside. And to be able to do that, and I remember a nurse, she told me, she said, you know, with me getting older in age, I don't think I would have been able to still work as a nurse had I not done MDS nursing. It's coming literally from her mouth. She was like, this is what has helped me stay working, is being able to be an MDS nurse. So like I said, depending as you get older, or as your ability to work, or, you know, physical demands are there, if you're not able to meet those physical demands, there's still jobs in nursing where you do not have to do direct patient care, and where you can sit at a desk and work. That could be like telehealth nursing. It could be, what else do I have? Insurance, like nursing, like working from home for insurance or agency, or MDS nursing. And I'm sure there's plenty of other jobs where you're not doing direct patient care that you can do based on your lifestyle. Like maybe even if you have children and you want to work from home. Now, I'm not saying work from home jobs are just like, you can have the kids running around while you're working. Like, maybe not that, it's not that easy. You still gotta clock in and they like monitor you working, but it might work if you have older kids or something like that, and you can do it. If you got a little bitty baby that's not taking up too much of your time, you can do it. Or if you are pregnant and you're on maternity leave and you need to work still for another few months or whatever, if you're on maternity leave and you're pregnant, if you like, maybe you're like on bed rest or something like that, and you still want to work from home, I'm sure you can find a job that you can work from home for a few months. Don't tell me you're pregnant though, child, because they be like, oh no, we ain't gonna hire you because you're gonna quit after a few months. But honestly, you could probably still work from home, and it's just knowing that you don't have to be in one job setting, one specialty for the entirety of your career. I believe it's one of the good things about nursing. There's so much flexibility, and there's just like the possibilities are endless as a nurse. There's over 100 specialties, okay? So the possibilities are endless as a nurse. Next, you can travel anywhere in the world. I mean, I don't know the world, child. Maybe not the whole world. I mean, you will have to find some ways to travel in the world as a nurse. But you could travel anywhere in the U.S., I should say, and not even have to blink your eye and be like, oh, well, am I going to be able to get a job? Most people, if they want to move somewhere, the first thing they think of is, oh my gosh, where am I going to work at? Like, how am I going to be able to work? Like, how am I going to be able to make money? As a nurse, you can get up and go and have a job just like that. Just like that. You got a job that fast. All you have to do is either go to a compact state. If you have a compact license like me here in Missouri, if you don't know what that is, basically, there's some states who have said, hey, anybody who comes from these different areas, any nurse that comes from this area, if they come up here, they don't have to get a new nursing license. We'll take them. You know, they have made an agreement that, I think it's like 30 some odd states that have made an agreement that if you come here with your nursing license and you have a compact license, then you can work here. You don't have to do anything extra. But there's some states like New York and California, they're like, child, no, you need to pay for that license. But more than likely, just pay for the license and you can work there. There's so much flexibility. You don't have to feel so stuck in life. You don't have to feel so pinned down in life as a nurse, because you know, if you want to get up and move to a different city, you can still go there and make your money and have a job. You are the prize as a nurse, y'all. Like, it's a nursing market. It's a nursing market, and it's been a nursing market since it's been a market. It's been one. Since they done had nurses, since it's been a thing, they have needed us. Trust and believe they have needed us, and they will continue to need us. No matter if you are LPN or RN, a bachelor prepared nurse, they gonna need you. Now, them nurse practitioners, I don't know. Some of y'all, they might not need y'all, because I know it's flooded, y'all. It's flooded. But even as a nurse practitioner, you still an RN. So you still have nurse practitioners who like, shoot, I might not be able to get these hours at my job, or maybe the pay, I don't know, here and there. And they'll still pick up at a nursing homes too. They'll still pick up at a hospital, PRN, to make a few dollars. And they nurse practitioners. But hey, they know there is value in having a nursing degree, especially an RN degree, and it don't have to be bachelor's prepared. I don't have a bachelor's degree, and I'm making a decent amount of money per hour. 60 plus per hour in Midwest Missouri. In Missouri, I'm making that much. So the money is there. They need us, and there's just so much freedom in being a nurse. When I tell you, it has changed my life. Not just changed my life like financially, but it just changed how I see myself, as far as not feeling like I am at mercy of a job. I have not felt that way for so long. And I was talking to my husband, he's like, Brandy, you don't know, like, you haven't had to really, worry about a job for a long time. He was like, it's tough out here. I was like, I know, baby. Thank God my husband's going back to school. I'm so proud of him. But so that he could be in a position where he can feel more like, okay, I have more autonomy of myself. But when you know that you have a skill or a license that you can pretty much do anything with, or it just makes you be able to take more risk in your life. Like with me, even doing this YouTube channel, like, I feel more empowered to do more entrepreneurial things, because I know that if anything were to happen, I got this career. I can make money. I can always make money for my family and for myself, as long as I keep my license and I, you know, keep my license in good standing and I can actually physically do the work, I'm good. But having that insecurity of like, okay, this job could just fire me at any point and I ain't gonna know what's going on. Nurses don't have to feel that way. They don't have to feel that way. You don't have to be afraid of how you're gonna make money. And I think that changes how you see yourself and how you view the world, because you're not afraid of, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my source of income. Now, of course, you know, don't put too much weight on anything that the man gives you, right? Because they can, as long as they gave you that license, they can take it right away. But overall, it changes how your security in who you are as a person, to know that, again, you have a skill set and a licensure that you can use anywhere in the US, and that you can get paid well, and that you're gonna have a job, not just one job, but a plethora of jobs. So that's how I feel about it. And it's truly, truly, truly a blessing to be a nurse. I don't take it for granted, y'all. If you in this field, or if you're thinking about doing it, you want to do it, it's a blessing. Trust me, people are out here struggling. Okay? Applying. I didn't look at the actual video, but it was like a thumbnail. It's like, man applies for 16 jobs and still doesn't get hired. Like, what? Every single day it's an Indeed post in I gotta cancel it. Like, stop sending me freaking emails. Indeed posts of them trying to get me to come work for them, just because I didn't put RN on my resume somewhere in the ethers of it all. They want us. You are a commodity when you have that license. It is truly an investment to become a nurse, to get into this field. It's definitely an investment, and it will change your life for the better. Now, I know some people, they might be coming from higher paying jobs and becoming nurses just because, you know, it's their passion to do it. But if you're anything like me, I grew up in North St. Louis, the hood. Okay, nobody really in my family has degrees like that. My aunt had a degree, but people don't really have money where I come from, right? So becoming a nurse took me out of that poverty. Like, I grew up in poverty. It took me out of that. And on top of that, me becoming an LPN, I only went to school for 1 year. 1 year, and I was able to double my income from a CNA to a LPN to a nurse. In 1 year. 1 year ago like that. We in the middle of 2024. It's the end of July already. We got 5 more months to this year already. You could be halfway through nursing school right now if you went for your LPN. And double your income or whatever. I don't know how much you're making, but in 1 year I was able to do that. So it's like, it's a blessing, y'all. It's a blessing. Now, of course, I got a whole video list of cons to it, and you know, it ain't always peachy and all that, but to be able to be in that position where you can take care of yourself, take care of your family, and you can grow in the profession. You can grow in this profession. You don't have to stay in a nursing home. You don't have to stay in a hospital. You don't have to stay at a clinic. You don't have to stay at a regular 9 to 5, you know, schedule. You don't have to work 5 days a week. You have more autonomy with that nursing license. You have so much more autonomy. Even as an LPN or LVN, you have so much more autonomy. Heck, even as a CNA, child, PCTs and CNAs, like, y'all need to don't take y'all certification for granted either, because you all have so much autonomy as well. They got travel CNA positions. Phlebotomists, they need y'all, because child, I could barely get blood. I can barely get blood. They don't even teach us that in nursing school, but that's a whole other video. But hey, they need y'all. They need y'all. It's CNAs I heard that I'm sure are creating their own businesses. They're doing entrepreneurial as a CNA or PCT, because it's a skill set that you have that's needed. People gonna be sick forever. They're gonna be sick as long as we don't prioritize healthcare in this country, and we don't prioritize the way that we eat and consume and what we consume. We gonna always have jobs. Always. So people gonna always be sick, and also mistakes happen, accidents happen where people need people, travesties happen in this world where you need people to take care of people. Flat out. We ain't going nowhere, and I don't care if you an LPN or in a BSN or whatever, you ain't going nowhere. It's always gonna be jobs for us. Like I said, as long as we ain't prioritizing mental health and the way we eat, people gonna be sick. Once we start prioritizing it, I don't know. But as long as we ain't prioritizing it, the money is there. It just is. And then when you look at it, other careers like occupational therapists, physical therapists, speech therapists, RAs, registered RDs, registered dietitians, what else? Other specialties I'm thinking about. Those specialties, those are great. It's easy to make money. You can make money in those specialties, but those are still like things that are not necessarily essential. When stuff happens, therapy is the first thing to go. Insurance companies more than likely is not paying for therapy. Insurance companies more likely is not paying for a registered dietitian. And going to become an occupational therapy or physical therapist takes way more schooling than nursing. I believe they need you to have a master's degree to become a PT or OT. And the schooling is so long, whereas with LPN, 1 year, RN, 2 years. Now granted, you got to do them prerequisites, but you got to do prerequisites for anything in healthcare. You got to do prereqs, except for like, PCT, CNA, all that. But you're going to have to do prerequisites anyways. But the actual degree, 2 years, 1 year. That's it. That's not a lot of time. Is it work? Yes. Is it dedication? Yes. Is it hard? Yes. But it does not take that long to get into this career. And as I stated earlier, if you start off with an entry-level job like the PCT, CNA, CMT, phlebotomist, you already can get your foot in the door super quick. Less than 6 months, you can start working in this field and start reaping the benefits of being in this healthcare field. You can do it. And then on top of it, like I said, get help going to school to become a nurse. It's just so much help, so much avenues in this career that I have benefited from, that I can definitely attest to. So it's worth it. Trust me, it is worth it. If you feel like you had a passion to take care of people and you have a genuine interest in healthcare, like for me, I honestly would have went to become a registered dietitian, because I really do have an interest in nutrition and how what we eat and what we put into our body can literally transform our body, and we can really take care of ourselves and have health, like a real health, not just a pill that's going to decrease the symptoms and add a whole other list of symptoms to the problem. But no, actual real health and healing. I was really interested in that. And I still am interested in holistic health, but I don't know how I would get into that. Let me type that on here. Let me get myself together. Let me start looking into that. But, and that was supposed to be what I was supposed to do, go into holistic nursing or healthcare. I got to figure it out, y'all. But at least I can figure it out, right? I got the time and energy and the money to try to figure it out. I can make money while I'm trying to figure out what I really want to do in my life. But I would have went for RA or RD, registered dietitian. But I was thinking nursing is going to give me way more flexibility. As a registered dietitian, when last time you heard somebody talk about registered dietitian? When have you heard of anybody like insurance even paying for you to go to a dietitian or a nutritionist? Now they're totally different. They're totally different. But when have you heard, like when last time you really heard of it? Like I said, most of the time there's not a high demand for them because nobody wants to pay for it. It's so much more money in paying for a nurse to treat things that our society has has put out there for people to get sick from. I can't tell y'all how many patients I've had that have had come in with alcohol abuse, right? It's so much more money in paying me to take care of these people than it is to get a dietitian to come in and try to be like, okay, you need to start eating this and doing all that, because they're not gonna do that. They're gonna still go home and drink, and they're gonna have to come back in here and get a nurse to take care of it. So become a nurse, because you're going to be in demand, and with that nursing degree, you can take that and still integrate other passions that you have. You have a passion for working with immigrants and helping women and women's health and all of that. Become a women's health nurse. Become a nurse midwife. Like, it's so much there. You still have a passion for educating. You might not want to be a school teacher, right? But become a nurse and become a nurse educator. Put your energy into the next generation of nurses, right? You can still use your passion to teach, but use that nursing license and the money and the autonomy that you can get from it and teach. Right? You can take whatever your interests are as a human being. You can take that interest, pair it with your nursing license and your experience as a nurse, and do something with it. You really can, y'all. Like, you honestly can do it. I'm telling you, you can do it. You just have to think about what you want to do, look out there and find examples for it. And you can almost create your own career or your own thing, or there's places and positions out there for you. But you got to get the experience. You got to start doing the work and the research, okay? Because you do need experience, but they want you to have some type of experience. So you got to do your work to get there, right? You got to pay your dues and learn the whatever trade you need to learn in addition to your license to create the job you want. But it's possible. The possibilities are endless. If anything from this video, the possibilities are endless. You're going to always be able to find a job and you're going to get paid. Now, I had a nurse, she was like, she works in a GI. And she was like, the GI doctor is on leave, so I'm picking up some shifts med surge. You would think any other time you're working in a career, if something happened with your boss or something happened with that department or that whatever, that job, and they didn't need you anymore, you would just be like, okay, I can't work. But since she has an RN license, yeah, she works in GI and that's usually what she does. But since she got that RN license, oh, we still need you. Come over here. You do GI? You ain't been doing GI forever? You ain't never worked med surg? It's okay. We'll still take you. We'll still take you because you got the license that they need. So she's still able to pick up shifts all over the hospital because she has an RN license. So like when I say it's a recession-proof type of job, they need you. People are the sickest in recessions because what they doing? They drinking, they smoking, they eating whatever, getting sick, limbs falling off. Like they need us. They need us. So it's there. Even during the pandemic, they needed us so much. People was probably able to pay off their student loans, their house, all that just with the money that they got working through pandemic. Like I know they was. I know they were. I was too busy having a baby child, but I know they was making money, and I wasn't an RN back then. Ooh, the stuff I missed out on not being an RN back in the day, but it's okay. I done kind of lost track, but nursing opens you up. It has opened me up. Even just being able to have this channel and create a different source of income, and also being able to connect with people all over. As a nurse, like I feel so privileged to be able to do that and to have a community here. And I'm only able to do that because I'm a nurse, right? And being a nurse can be very emotionally fulfilling. Now, it can be draining to you. It can take a lot out of you. You can become fatigued. You can just lose compassion for others. But there's plenty of times in my career where I was very proud to say I was a nurse. I'm still proud to say I'm a nurse. It just felt like in my soul, like I was doing something for another person. I felt fulfilled in knowing that I was there for somebody when their mom died. You know, I was there with a patient when nobody was with them and they were dying, and I just was holding their hand and looking at them, and they taking, like, it can be fulfilling, y'all, like to know, like to have that human connection with people and to actually know that your presence makes a difference for somebody. It's something that, you know, beyond the money, beyond like, okay, I can live my life, I can do whatever, I can make this money, I can, you know, I can get in, get out. Like there's something about having the skills and the ability and the knowledge to care for another human being. It's something about that that's just like, it ain't nothing but God. That's like, it's nothing but God that allows you to be able to do that. And, you know, I sit here and I laugh about, oh, the patient alcohol, the patient, but sometimes it's been times where I've been with patients that have had substance abuse, or they've had like psych issues, or they've been like demented or scared, or, you know, dying, like I said, and like I'm there for them. You know, I'm there for that patient, and I just feel like, okay, me being here means something. Like me being here actually helped this person, and you walk away from your job feeling fulfilled. Okay, I'm getting a little too emotional. Cancer crab. You know, I'm a cancer crab, but like it's all after all the, you know, itch and giggles. Like when you really want to take care of people and you really want to make a difference in somebody's life, and it might not be nothing huge. Sometimes just being with your patients who are like older, like maybe you had like a 7-year-old who lives alone and they had a fall and they came to your hospital. This person might not be talking to nobody all day. For weeks on end, the only people they talk to is the cable guy on their phone or the mailman that comes by. But to be in that hospital and have their nurse come in there and hear them talk about their grandkids, or talk about their husband that died, or talk about their wife and how their wife met, like, you can just see that these people, they find some type of fulfillment in having somebody to talk to, somebody to listen to them, somebody to laugh at their jokes, like somebody there for them. And there's, yes, the paycheck is great, right? But to have that human connection, especially in this day and age where most of the time we only connected to a phone or to a TV, but to literally have that human connection, it's nothing like it. That's why when you, as a nurse, when you aren't able to do the best for your patients, and when you don't have the resources to be there for your patients, it can be so draining. It can be so disheartening, because people are looking to you to take care of them. And when you can't do it, it's so, you just feel like, F it. Like, you become jaded, right? And that's kind of what I talked about in my cons video. But when there are those moments that you can really be there for somebody, be there for somebody's child when they are the only child and both of their parents are in the nursing home dying. I've had that happen where both her parents sick and it's just her. She's like, I don't really know, it's just me. I don't have any siblings, it's just me. And they're like, oh, you're doing such a good job, man, you're such a great daughter. Like, your parents, they're so grateful to have you. Like, you are such a good daughter, you're doing such a great job. Just being there for another person, y'all, is nothing like it. In this day and age where most of us are jaded in some way, or we've all kind of lost compassion for the world, those moments where you can do it is nothing like it, y'all. It's nothing like it. And I'm kind of sad because I don't always have those moments now, especially working in the hospital. I don't always have it. I had it more in long-term care, especially working, okay, I got myself together, especially working with patients for years, right? Seeing their kids come in, talking to you, like just getting to know these people, and they live here. And you're there every day showing up for them. And they're like, is Brandy working today? Is Brandy here? I don't want to take a shower unless Brandy's here. Or they don't want to take their meds unless you the nurse giving it. So like that type of thing, knowing that you there for somebody, y'all, is nothing like that. Because there's too many people in this world that are lonely, that are sad, that are hurt. They done made so many mistakes that their kids not there to take care of them, when they don't have kids, they never got married, they don't have anybody to talk to, they sitting around in this hospital bed or sitting around in this nursing home full of regrets, full of pain, and you come in and you just brighten their whole day up. To be able to do that for somebody is nothing like it, y'all. It's nothing like it to be in a position to take care of another human being, as a human being, just on a level as a human being, to take care of somebody, to help somebody, to make somebody's day just a little bit better. It ain't nothing like it, y'all. It's nothing like it. And I think that's like the heart of nursing, is that it's just people taking care of people. And it's good we get paid for it. Don't be wrong with y'all. We ain't volunteers. Like, we getting paid for it. But that right there is the thing that I think like keeps me in nursing, and it's sometimes the things that make you not want to do nursing anymore, because you're like, I'm tired of people, I'm tired of these folks. But again, you get tired, you can switch it up. You get tired of working with adults who bring pain upon themselves and they full of trauma and their life is over with, go work in peds. Go work in peds. You get tired of working in home health, you want to switch it up and sharpen up your skills, go work in a hospital. You get tired of working med surg, getting ran back and forth, go do ICU. Become a critical care nurse, sharpen your skills even more. You get tired of the whole healthcare system and you want to do something else, become a nurse entrepreneur. The money is there. You get jaded and you're like, oh my God, all the nurses going to hell. Become a nurse educator and pour yourself into that next generation. Be the person that helps the next generation of nurses to be stronger, to be better, to be able to really go out there and do what they got to do. Or at least you hope that they can do that, right? So you just being a nurse, like I said, is truly a blessing. I don't take it for granted because it's changed my life. It's changed my outlook of life. And I never thought I was going to be nobody's nurse child. I never thought it was going to happen. But I love it because as a nurse, you are not pigeonholed into one thing. If you want to grow as a person and continue to learn and continue to build up your skill set, there's opportunities, y'all. Jobs are helping you pay for school. Jobs are helping you pay back your student loans. Jobs are giving you nice chunks of money just for you to come work for them. You know, that sign-on bonus. The money is there. The opportunities are there. The schools are there. It's just up to you to decide if you want this and if it's for you, right? If it's for you. And if you get into it, like, this ain't for me, I don't want to do this, give it a year. Give it a year. After that year, switch it up. Change your specialty or change your job setting. Switch it up. Give yourself time to grow in this career because you really can. I know a lot of us are knocking nursing, right? Especially if you've been in nursing for a good amount of time. Some of us are knocking the field because we tired, y'all. We tired. And you gotta think we just went through a panty. We just went through a panty. Like, some of us are just burnt the hell out. And some people had to go through school in a panty. So that makes them even more burnt out because they was dealing with people who didn't want to that didn't want to train them, or they didn't even get the training that they need, or when they came out of school, the healthcare changed so much, right? As a new nurse, people are not investing as much into new nurses like they did back in the day. So, you know, but you can still grow within this field. Keep your nursing license. You can still grow and you can still make a difference for people. People still will remember you. People will remember you. Trust me. People remember their nurses. They remember their nurses. People, trust me, they remember you. They remember the nurse that took care of their dad before he died. They remember the nurse that was there with their baby, you know, help their baby come back to health, right? They remember this. They remember the nurse that was holding their hand while they was trying to push that baby out. They remember you. So you make a difference in somebody's life. That's why it's so important for us to take care of ourselves as individuals so that we can go in there and be a vessel, right? Be a vessel for God. Whatever you believe in, universe, I'm just saying God. Like, I'm not really putting no denomination onto it, but be a vessel for source, for higher energy, for God to take care of people. I feel like nursing is one of the most humane things. It's such an old school thing. Being somebody's nurse is, that shit is ancient. It's ancient. Taking care of another human, that's ancient things. Nursing somebody is ancient. It is. It's an ancient craft that has been monetized and has been standardized and has been westernized. But this is nothing new. It's nothing new. It's one of the most innate things that all of us do as human beings is to take care of other people. Some of us have lost it. It's hard sometimes to take care of other people when you don't even take care of yourself. But it's one of the most primitive things you can do is to take care of another human being. To hold space for another human being. And as I said, to be a vessel to be able to do that. It's nothing like it, y'all. So if you're interested in doing it, I say go for it. It's truly a blessing, y'all. I don't know how many times I say it's truly a blessing to do it. And I'm grateful that we can make money doing it. The money is there. The opportunities are there for us to do it. So let me know what you think. I didn't cry like a little baby or her child. Y'all made me get emotional. But let me know what y'all think. Have y'all found this video helpful? Do y'all like this little series talking about the pros and cons of nursing? And just let me know, like, where are you at? Are you in nursing school? Are you already a nurse? Are you thinking about leaving nursing? Are you thinking about coming into nursing? Like, what is it? Like, what is your call to nursing? Or what's your, like, I don't want to do it? What is the thing? Let me know. And if you haven't checked out the video of the cons, go check that out. Like I said, it's toxic, honey. I'm giving y'all both sides. Do it, don't do it. But, you know, this is just a video. This is just my personal opinion. But if you feel called to do something, you do it. And hey, it's 1 or 2 years out of your life. Maybe a few years out of your life. And I always say it's 1-2 years out of your life that can change the entire trajectory of your life. I never thought I was going to be a nurse. Ever thought I was going to be a nurse. But here I am. Been doing this for 9 years. Been doing this for 9 years. And when I tell you it has helped my family so much financially. My schedule, being able to have a schedule that I want, it just helps your mind not to feel locked into this job, like to these hours. Like, it just helps you to know you can walk away and you can be at the job. Like, I know black people do this all the time. You can be at the job applying for another job, get hired while you own the job. You can be looking for another job. But I love it. I can talk about it all day. On this channel I have talked about it. I got videos for everything, but it's a blessing, y'all. It's a blessing to be able to do it. The possibilities are endless, and you can fall in love with this career over and over again if you allow yourself to grow and to change and to challenge yourself to be in different job settings, be in different specialties. You can grow in this career. You can have a long career. As I stated, even if you don't have the physical ability to do the job, or maybe you're older, you're just like, I'm tired, child. You can still stay a nurse. You can become a nurse educator. You can become an administrator. You can become a DON. You can do director of nursing. You can do so much in this career at whatever level that you are in your life. You can do this, y'all. It's possible, and it is rewarding. And also, like, nurses are some of the most highly respected and trusted individuals, child. Some of us ratchet now. But when we on the job, they trust us and we're highly respected. But no, for real, like, it's a great career. And if you don't like a part of it, try a different place. You can just keep trying. There's so many. You don't have to be stuck anywhere. You do not. Get that out of your head. You don't have to be stuck at anybody's job. You can switch it up as a nurse, and you will find fulfillment. And also, let me just add this too. I feel like, as far as it changing me as a person, nursing has made me be way more appreciative of my life. So much more appreciative of my life, and way more like having like more compassion for other people. Because yes, you got adults that's in there because they done OD'd or because they this or that. But when you really think about it, like, everybody processes trauma differently. Some people, they process it. Me, I've had trauma in my life. I could just have easily become, dependent upon substances, but instead I decided to go to school. I decided to say, I want my life to be different. I want to have security in my life. I want to be able to make money. I want to be able to take care of myself financially. So I became a nurse. But some people, they can't do that. That's not how it works for them. They need something to medicate the pain that they have. And I think as a nurse, once you start to see that and you're taking care of people, yes, you'd be like, oh, here they come again. Like, oh, they not taking care of themselves. But I don't know, for me, it makes me be more like compassionate for people when they in situations. Because I'm like, I know you gotta be sick. Something within you gotta be in pain for you to be doing this to yourself, right? You have to be in pain for you to be eating yourself into the point where you can't take care of yourself no more. So yes, there's the judgment there that could be there, if you want to become a judgy person. But also part of you is you just start to have compassion, and you think like, dang, like, what brought you here? Like, I just wish you could be healthier. I wish you could be better. I wish you could push past the pain. But I think, like, as a nurse, like I said, it just makes you more compassionate, because you see people at their lowest and you just think like, man, I'm grateful I'm not there, right? You grateful you're not there, but you realize any of us could be there. Any of us could get into a car accident. Any of us could have a sick kid. Any of us could have something happen to their parents, and their parents is out here, whatever. Like, anything can happen to any one of us as a human being at any point in time, and you're gonna need somebody to help you and take care of you. And to me, as a nurse, it just makes me be more, just see life more as a gift, and just have a better mindset when it comes to my life, and not really wanting to take my life for granted, because you just see so much in this field where you're just like, this was a perfectly healthy child and something happened to them, or this person was just going to work and they had a car accident. Like, this person was just living their life a week ago and now they're completely comatose. Like, it makes you look at life differently, y'all. And also, I be taking care of too many people in their 50s and 60s that ain't got no money, they homeless, and they just down and out. And I be like, child, I'd be damned if I end up like that. No shade to them, but it just makes you prioritize your life just a little bit different as a nurse. Tell me, does it do that? Does it make even your health? You're like, I want to have better health. Like, I don't want to be in a situation. I don't want to be sick. it just makes you look at life differently, y'all. It changes you as a person, hopefully for the better. My battery about to die. I love you all. Thank you so much for chiming in. Like, hugs and kisses, y'all. Let me know, you gonna become a nurse, yay or nay? You gonna stay in nursing, yay or nay? Do you have a different outlook about the field after watching these 2 videos? Let me know. I love you all. Bye.